Hi everybody, Professor Christina here, and today we are going to create a book cover for our book. Now, book covers come in standard sizes, so the first thing you want to know is what size is your paperback book going to be and your hardcover book cover. And we're going to do a front and a back as well as a spine design, typically if we are working on a print book. Now, if you're working on just an ebook, you just need the front cover. So in this tutorial, we're just going to come up with our front cover. That is usually your most important design. And we're going to use a standard size. I'm going to do 8.5 by 11 because that's a good size to do your ebook cover in. So I'm in Canva, our favorite friend, and I'm in the templates screen. And I'm really just going to look for book cover. And you can do book cover front and back, book cover mock-up. I want book cover front and back because even though this time I'm only going to do the front, we're going to want the back for uploading to Amazon KDP. Now you can see some of these aren't really book covers at all. They're all kinds of other designs. We've got infographics. So clearly what we're going to look for are things like this that are a book cover where there's clearly a place for, say, the author bio. Not a notebook cover, but stuff like this, where it clearly says book cover or notebook. We don't want a mock-up. We want just the design for the book cover. So my book that I'm working on is a business book, so I'm going to choose this design. And I am in Pro, which means that I'm going to have a few more options than if I'm on the free version, but you have plenty in the free version. So when you pick a design that you like, usually you'll see what's called more like this. So let's say you saw a design, not quite what you're looking for, it's going to give you more options. Now, if I can give you one piece of advice, don't overthink it. The thing that you want to see, the thing that you think looks really cute is probably going to appeal to other people as well. I really like this one, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to customize it. So I'm going to click on Customize this template, and that's going to open up the screen here. And what I want is, I obviously want my title of my book, I want my name as an author, and I want my company logo. And that's really all that I'm going to want to put there. But there is also a spot here where I can put my URL, and I think I'm going to put that as well. So I'm just going to take my book cover. I've already got it copied, so I'm just going to want to paste it. I'm going to take my title, and I'm going to put it in here where the title goes. Obviously, it does not fit because it is much longer than what the space is. So all you need to do then is I'm going to select this text, and you can see here I have a subtitle as well. So I'm going to actually get rid of the subtitle because I'm going to paste that into the box for the subtitle. And for here, the main title, I'm going to highlight it, and first I'm going to make the text size, I'm going to try, say, a 60-point text. I'm just going to type that in here where you've got your font size, and I'm going to hit enter, and it's starting to fit very nicely. Then I just drag the boxes to make everything fit. And here's a little trick a lot of us don't realize is available. You can actually change the spacing between lines also, no matter what font you're using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my text again, and then here there's this spacing, and you can change your line spacing. In fact, the line spacing here is bigger than single spaced. It's 1.4, so I'm just going to hit that one. I'm going to hit enter, and you can see I've tightened it down a little bit. The letter spacing, I could actually even tighten that a little bit more, or I could even expand it out. In fact, I kind of like it expanded out to here. I think that makes up for the tighter line spacing, and I'm starting to like where this is. It's a little small, so I'm just going to actually hit the plus button. I'm going to play around with this, and I'm just going to make it fill that whole space. And I think I like the way this looks now. You want to have a little negative space around it. You don't want it super tight. It's going to look amateurish if you have it super tight into the allotted space. See that? That doesn't look very professional. You want to have what we call negative space in design, which is just a little room for your font to breathe. This looks okay, but I feel like it's too many lines. So I might actually make the font smaller, just a hair, and center it here. Now remember, I have a subtitle. I'm going to put that here. I'm going to move it up a little closer to the title. I'm going to paste it in, and here it says a research-driven playbook. Excellent. I'm really liking how this looks. And I'm going to just, again, center it right there. And pull it down a little bit again to give myself that negative space. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my author name right in here, and you want to put your full name. You want to also, in my experience, not do it in all caps. All caps looks like shouting, and especially if you have a middle initial or a title or degree after your name, it's just going to look a tiny bit messy. So I prefer to have it like that. Now this still looks a little bit messed up. I'm not liking my name on two different lines. I think names should generally be on a single line. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move it down here. And since this is the same color as this beautiful banner here, I'm going to go up here, and you can change your text color very easily. So what I like about this is you can actually match your photo colors. So I could go here, I'm liking this image, and it actually would change the font color to the photo colors. Still not loving it because it's going across two different pieces of graphics, and I've got like this weird color here. So what you can do is, what I'll do is I'll take a shape, and you can just put it behind a piece of text and make it transparent to add a little bit of emphasis to the text. So for your author name, and by the way, I feel like you don't have to say by. It's implied that you're the person who wrote the book. So I tend to, again, don't put by there because it can, again, look a little bit amateurish. I don't want this to be fully dark. I just want it to be a shadow behind the name to make the text more readable. So I'm going to go up to this block right here where it says transparency, and this can make this a little transparent. And I'll see how that looks. And I kind of like the way that looks, especially if I now change this font to something even lighter. I'm kind of liking how that looks. Okay, so now I've got pretty much a good design. Maybe I don't think email marketing lends itself to, say, a picture of a building, and I want to change the image here. I'm just going to go over to my elements, and I'm going to type into the search box, let's say email, or even just the word email marketing, and it's going to find a bunch of different pictures here for me. Now, obviously I'm not going to put a video on the cover of my book, but let's say I want to put this image right in there. Does this look fun? Does this look silly? I don't know. I'm dragging it over there. I'm not liking it, but I love the fact that Canva allows you to snap a photo into place right behind the design. And it's going to be exactly the right shape. I'm going to scroll through the other available images here, and I like this image. It's fun. It's lively, it's fun. And so the way I can make sure that it's actually going into the right graphic space is I'm going to hover it, and it pops right in there. Now let's say I want more of the envelopes to show. In order to adjust the image once it has popped into the frame, you double click and see if you can see the entire image as something transparent, and then you can drag the image around to see what's going to fit into the frame. I like where this is going, but you can see it's not showing that email icon. So let's say I want to have more of the image into the frame. All I need to do is grab the corners, and I can pull the image in to the frame. in a different angle. So I can do something like this or something like that. I can also say I do not want to crop the image, or I do want to do what's called a smart crop, and then it'll find an angle where it will be more interesting. But if I don't like that, I should be able to, you can see here, grab the corners and shrink it to fit exactly where I want it to be. So maybe I want it to look a little bit like this. Not sure. I'm going to say I like that, but now I'm not loving the black background, so I wanted to color coordinate. You don't need to know anything about color theory. All you have to do is click on any color you want to adjust, and it'll literally pick up those photo colors, and it'll allow you to pick one of the photo colors that you like best. I think I like this bright yellow. I think it's sunny. I think it's fun. But maybe I want to do something more pastel. That's energetic. It's elegant. And then to make this color coordinate a little bit better, I can pick different colors for the cover from all of my different options. Maybe I'll keep it at that yellow. And you can see here, I've perfectly color coordinated now to my photo. I can just add my web address. This has allowed me to add that. And again, if you're creating your ebook as a lead generation piece, I highly recommend doing that. If, on the other hand, you're going to be publishing this cover on Amazon, you probably don't need your web address here. You're going to want to put it on the back instead. So I've got almost everything else that I need. I also want to add my brand logo, and I want to put my author photo there. So first I'm going to find my logo. I obviously have a ton of logos in here because I've done client work here. And here's my logo. I'm just going to pop that right in. Maybe we'll put it here at the top in order to make it look really good. Now, I do want to crop the slogan off because we're in the process of changing our slogans, and there might be a lot of different reasons why you want to crop out part of an image. It's super easy to do that in Canva. I'm going to show you that again. You just double click on it, and the background's going to go dark, and you're going to see these little sharp edges around the bottom. That means this is in crop mode now, and then you just gently adjust till you've cropped off anything you don't want on the graphic, and then when you're ready, you're just going to hit enter, and there you go, you've cropped it. I zoomed in a little bit just because it was easier for me to see. You don't have to zoom in like that, and then you adjust it to the size that you want. Now let's say I'm feeling super fussy and I actually want to change my background to something that coordinates with my logo and not the photo. What's great here about Canva is that it will take any photo that you have put into an image and allow you to color coordinate with it. So let's say I now want this. Obviously, that's not going to be good. It's going to get rid of my logo, or I can change any of these, but I'm not feeling any of them. I don't want to change that color background. Maybe actually I just want to do this and keep the design super simple. And I really am loving the direction that this has gone in, so I'm going to call it a day. I'm a big believer that done is better than perfect, and I'm kind of liking this graphic that I have right now. So I now have my cover design ready to go. It has taken me less than 15 minutes, and now I'm ready to download it. So I'm going to just hit the share button down here, and then I'm going to go to download, and it's going to give me a bunch of different options for downloading the image. PDF print is going to give you a high resolution PDF that's printer ready, and you can drop that into an existing PDF for your book design. Now, PNG is going to give you a high resolution image, and in fact, you can use this slider and you can make it a super high resolution image. And that will allow you to have a really nice sharp book cover. If you don't know what you're going to need, I'm going to download it in two different versions. I'm going to do both the PDF and the PNG to see which one is going to work better as I send it to my layout person. So I'm going to save it as a PNG. I'm also going to save it as a high resolution PDF. And I can then also save it into my newsletter folder where I can then send it out to my mailing list to promote my book. I'm going to call this something I can easily remember. In this case, email ebook cover front, so that I can actually remember what I've created. And that's it. I've created a book cover using a template in Canva. I've been able to customize the colors and the design, and now it's ready to go, ready to be used in promotional materials, as well as ready to be added to the cover of my book. Again, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This is Professor Christina Inge, and happy marketing.